There will never be another career mode. Nothing beats winning the Champions League for the first time, or winning a league trophy on the final day of the season, or even finishing one of your longest RTG projects on the game. Hell, maybe even finishing your first ever RTG project on the game. No other mode in gaming comes close to the feeling of falling in love with the youth academy player you found in France or England, or even when you first loaded up the career mode. Perhaps you don't even have a favorite youth player, but you've been playing career mode long enough to see this video. And if that's the case, you'll definitely have someone in your mind when I ask you to think of your favorite career mode player, or at least when I say the word career mode. You can at least think of a couple of players that spring to your mind. Career mode has a special effect of creating special memories from each of us, or at least helping us to do so. But even something so special can start to feel boring. It's only a matter of time until you feel what a lot of people have felt, and something that even I, as someone who does this as a hobby on YouTube, you feel something called career mode burnout. Every save in career mode starts the same in FC24. You choose a team, you choose a tactical vision, which to be honest at this point I'm not vibing with anymore. You hire coaches, and when you go to the calendar, you see the same number that you saw in your last career mode. 2023. That's when the game begins. It's always the same environment too. Man City is the strongest team in the English league again. Real Madrid is most likely to win the Champions League again. Bayern is still the favorite to win the Bundesliga again, and basically every first year in career mode starts to feel the same. In fact, it is the same. The teams are back at their default ratings again. The competitions haven't grown in any unpredictability yet. And overall, it's just the same game that you felt the first time you played a career mode in it. And here's the thing, it's possible for a team like Leeds United to eventually win the Premier League. I think I've seen this happen in an S2G video. But that can only happen from Season 5 onwards. Other examples of such dynamism can only start beyond Season 1, which turns the first season of every career mode into a slog, a bit of a jog, because every career mode's first season is the same. And it's a bit of a problem, a big one that can make a career mode boring. So then I asked a question, why not just change the time period? FIFA 20 begins in the year 2019, and this year was very different to 2023. Man City and Liverpool were two of the best teams in the world, and in this game they were destined to have a title race that would end up with both teams going above the 90 points tally. And the distance between the two of them to decide whoever won the title, you wouldn't be sure between Liverpool and City who it would be, but the difference at the end would always be between 1 to 3 points. And here, Neymar is still a 90 rated player at PSG, and Haaland is still in the early stage of his development career alongside Jadon Sancho, and both these players have potential to be special, which means they have 91 plus potential. Dynamic potential is also shamefully broken in this game, but it makes it possible for you to turn any player you want into an elite 90 rated player, as long as they're young enough. For me, I remember doing this with Anthony Martial as I did a Wolfsburg career mode save. I signed Anthony Martial, I revived his career, and in the space of 2 seasons, he turned into my best player, boasting a rating of an 89 overall. And more than that, Messi is still at Barcelona, and Ronaldo is still at the club that the streets will never forget, Monte Calcio. And he's not alone, he's got Paulo Dybala there as well, he's got Gianluigi Buffon, he's got Chiellini, he's got Paulo Dybala, he's got Bonucci. And best of all, football hasn't retired from Zlatan yet. And this creates a very interesting effect that I only realized when I went back to the game. And it's that the entire game itself, the environment, the world of football, just feels very different. And it's a testament to how quickly things can change in the space of 5 years in the sport of football. And everything just feels new. Especially when it comes to gameplay, and the neat part about going back to that time, or going back in time for any FIFA game, is that every other FIFA game will feel different from one another. In every season, one will be different and unique. My personal favorite is FIFA 18. As for me, this was where La Liga was at its peak. It's my opinion, right? Messi, Ronaldo, Suarez, Benzema, Bale, Modric, Cruz, Casemiro, Sergio Busquets, all of these players were a part of El Clasico. And best of all, players like Eden Hazard, Alexis Sanchez, Frank Ribery, Sergio Aguero, and a few more you could probably think of still had decent ratings too. In fact, I remember doing a Real Madrid career mode where I signed Frank Ribery to the club. I mean, I was pretty young then. I was a kid. It was a crazy career mode. I had Messi, Ronaldo, and Neymar at Real Madrid at the same time. Don't ask how I did it. Don't ask why I cooked up that idea. I was like, pretty young. Don't blame me. I was pretty creative. And here's the thing as well. Back to the video, right? Yeah, we could say these older games have their own sets of problems. Like for me, FIFA 20, I had a very big issue with how easily you could get fired, and the lack of development plans has been a bit annoying. But such issues won't really be noticed too much, or at least they won't have such a great effect if you don't stay in these games for too long. Perhaps you can just go back for like one career mode. Maybe a special career mode that, yeah, will make going through all that bad worth it in the end. Every memorable career mode has a story behind it, regardless of whether you planned it before the save, made it up as the save was going by, or perhaps you even thought of the story once the career mode had ended. Stories are the heart of career mode, and it's why the concept of a road to glory is so popular. And in my opinion, it's the reason why we have career mode YouTubers like B Ford and S2G and Edgar in the first place. And the story of your career mode doesn't even have to contain the bestseller type writing and plotting. It can be as simple as the examples I'm about to explain. Chelsea won the league in 2017. As Mauricio Pochettino, win Chelsea the Premier League. You're not allowed to sign any 85 plus rated players until you at least qualify for the UEFA Champions League, and every Real Madrid offer must be accepted. This idea has a few things. First, it has a problem, it has a goal, and a restriction. And when I thought of this career mode, I thought of all of that in the space of 15 minutes, where I was staring at the choose a team part of the menu of choosing a career mode team. Because initially I wanted to do a Dortmund career mode, but I was like, yeah, we can do Chelsea, we can do that. And maybe, you know what, maybe Chelsea's not your cup of tea. Fine, I'll give you another example. Probably something a bit more deep. It's 2022, so it's FIFA 23. And Jurgen Klopp is Dortmund's manager again. Bayern Munich is still a juggernaut and Marco Reus is running out of time to win a big trophy with the club that he loves. So within 2 years, your goal is to make use of some very smart custom tactics, some pretty smart, bit of more realistic signings, and a couple of youth prospects to win the Bundesliga or maybe even the Champions League. You have to make sure that Marco Reus is there to lift a trophy, and you have to make sure he's an important piece of the puzzle in getting you to a big trophy. Now, this idea is a bit more complex than the Chelsea story, but it still serves the same purpose, and it still does the same things. We get a problem, we get a goal, and we get a bit of a restriction or a deadline. And both these career modes serve the same purpose, or both these principles serve the same purpose. They give you an emotional reason to keep on playing, especially if Marco Reus is one of your favorite players, for example. Who knows, maybe you can do this on FC24 with Lionel Messi. You put Messi back in Barcelona and you're like, you know what? One more Champions League for Messi. Let's do that. So in a nutshell, if I was to find a way to define the process, I'd say find a team, identify a problem, which can be anything from winning trophies or setting up a great future for them. And an example of this I have of setting up a great future for a team is FIFA, if that's how you say his name, pretty nice FC YouTuber. I enjoy watching him. He made this long video where he tried to create career mode ideas for every single team in the Premier League. And one idea that stuck out was with Man City. He said that with Man City, if I remember properly, paraphrasing heavily, he said that in Man City, your main focus should be to create a good future for the team, where there's a lot of youth players who can sort of take over when the players like De Bruyne, like Haaland, like Foden, like Edison and Kyle Walker are gone, to make sure Man City is still a strong or at least competent enough to keep winning the league 5 years, 10 years in the future. So once you've identified the problem, like winning trophies or setting up a great future like I just elaborated on, try to solve it, and perhaps add a challenge that makes it harder to solve the problem, like my personal favorite, accepting every Real Madrid offer. But rebuilds aren't the only type of career mode that you can do. For this one, I'll use one of my casual youth academy saves. The team I chose was Harrogate Town, and I was in FIFA 23. In fact, I'm still playing the career mode to this day. I chose Harrogate Town because I saw Katzi choose them in one of his YouTube saves, which was a Youth Academy save if I remember correctly. And from now on, I choose them for every Youth RTG save, no matter what game I'm playing. The manager I chose was Frank Lampard, because I wanted him to prove himself as an elite manager by single-handedly creating the next generation of world-class superstars and having them all play in the same team. My rules were simple. I could only sign players scouted from the United Kingdom in the first 2 seasons, and I had to make sure that the majority of my first team was of United Kingdom origin. This led to 6 of my best players in the entire team coming from countries in that region. I still scouted other countries, but I also made sure that every month I had a scout report from England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, or Northern Ireland. I could also sign any region I wanted, as long as I could afford them, which led me to signing the next Luka Modric. And an interesting story I created was that he had a choice between joining us and joining Man City. He chose us because Frank Lampard had built a very good reputation of growing talent. But I'll elaborate more on that story whenever I make a more detailed Youth Academy RTG series, or should I say idea video. But back to the video. Another rule I gave myself is that I was allowed to reject transfer offers from clubs like Real Madrid under the condition that my club must not have more than 38 players in the books. This meant that a lot of gems that failed to make their place in my starting 11 and subs end up spreading out around the world to start their own flourishing careers, especially if they don't end up getting high enough ratings after I loaned them out. All of that led to a save where, 6 seasons in, Harrogate Town has become a talent factory where competition for game time is fierce and every player knows how to fit into Frank Lampard's system whenever they're needed. It's caused me to have a career mode where I found the next Saka, Gareth Bale, Alexis Sanchez, and Joe Hart, and they are all a very crucial part in my current season and current hunt to win the Champions League. I'll go into further detail about the stories and the storylines and how the career mode has gone when I dive deeper into having a Youth Academy save. But then, what if you're like me, and no matter how many stories you think of, you still feel bored? In that case, I strongly believe that you're going through what I've gone through. And that's the simple fact that you're just burnt out from the game. So in that case, you should just put the game away for a bit. It's okay. You can just press the power button on your controller, go to the home tab or go to the home page, close the application, put it away, and play something else. It doesn't mean quitting the game. It just means taking a break and enjoying everything else that gaming has to offer. A good example of this is look up 2-week phase for Minecraft. Or better yet, just say look up the 2-week phase philosophy for Minecraft. We never really quit Minecraft if you've played it before. We just take really long breaks. I personally migrated to Rocket League with a friend and I genuinely had a great time with them in that game. Right now, I only play FC24 to record my current My Player series, which you should definitely watch. Episode 1 and 2 are out, and I would greatly appreciate any feedback you would have on the series. And for the rest of my gaming time, if it's not recording on FC24, I play games like Warframe and Fortnite, especially Warframe. It's actually a pretty nice game. And I always know that one day I will come back to the game. I always do, because it's a football game, and I love football. And I'm willing to bet that you feel the same way if you're watching a video on how to not get bored in a football game. But hey man, here's the thing. Even Messi needed that summer break before heading into the next season of carrying Barcelona for the next 60 games. Gaming is like school, or the gym, or even a regular job as well. It's ironic because we use gaming to escape from all that pain and suffering, but sometimes even we need to take a break from escaping too. So just take a break. If looking at it from a new perspective doesn't work, just take a break.